Video is starting. Here we go.
Here we go.
Waiting for it. This is always here we are. We're live.
We're
Hi,
live.
everyone. Welcome. Here
Hi.
with here with my great friend Laurie Rock. And here we are with our extraordinary topic today of You're Not Broken, Why Traditional Diets Fail Women Over 40. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dev Suroop, for having me. What an honor. Just like this group and the magic and all the things you're sharing in the world is really something. I'm really inspired to get to collaborate with you and have this conversation because what you're up to and sharing your voice in the world is big, and women over 40 like who are struggling in this area who have a big mission, they get stuck with their health and their dieting and their energy. So thank
Yeah.
you for having me because this is a really important conversation. There's a lot of things that we don't talk about. So let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So I want to just give people a framing for who you are.
Oh, please.
So Laurie Rock is a holistic weight loss expert, longevity coach, and founder of Healthy Thriving Women. And I think it's really important to stress that weight loss is sort of the entree, but it's a whole other ball game because I am also a client. So we'll talk about that. And it's very apparent when working with you that you're drawing from this 30 years of experience in transformation and with this background in holistic, being a holistic RN, also with hospice,
Yeah.
the whole wide range of experience of bringing science in, soul, connection with self, and
Yeah.
strategy for women over 40 to
Yeah.
release emotional, physical, and mental weight. It's definitely not just this physical thing. It's,
Yeah.
and we'll talk. So,
I'm already getting worked up because I'm feeling your energy. Yeah. It's big.
yeah,
It's deep,
yeah,
man. Deep.
yeah, it's cool. So, talk about. I think what I'd like to start with is just to
Yeah.
open up, and we'll go where we go. Is
Yeah, sure.
talk about you're not broken. That concept of you're not broken.
Well, I think a lot of women go on like, and so I love this, right? And so go around and they won't maybe not say it like because we're trained as women to put our our positive Pollyanna and our smile and everything and be like, I'm trying, it's okay, I accept this. But inside, what the women I actually talk to one on one, right, they're like, the conversation I have all the time is, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I feel like I've been doing all the same things. It's not working anymore. And usually this is about the time they, 40, 50, 60, and 70, like these, I've been, and I keep pushing and like all of a sudden I'm out of energy. I'm not sleeping. And then, we're not even talking about the night sweats and all this stuff, right? And then I'm like moody. I'm snapping at my like favorite people. My dog is on my nerves, right? Like I'm not like, I don't know where my spark, I have no libido, like all these things is such a typical conversation. And for the women to privately confess to me, I have so much shame. I don't know what it is because I've got this belly fat and I can't fit into my clothes. And for hell's sake, I don't really actually feel like doing everything. And so women feel like they're broken. So I'm here to tell you that you are not broken. And scientifically, one of the reasons you are not broken from like just a real basic like standard diet and nutrition perspective and exercise perspective is that 80% of the science and the nutrition advice that we're following is actually designed for men. That's how that science goes. There's like
Oh,
22-year-old men. So like we're following a lot of these things. And what's really funny is like, I don't know if you ever did like, I don't know, maybe Dev Strip, I don't know. Did you ever do like a program with your husband and like follow the same thing, follow like intermittent fasting or follow anything together? No.
well,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he
You like
he
do
kind
your
of
own thing, right?
follows along
He
with
follows
what I
you,
do.
whatever you're
I'm
doing,
the
he's
cook.
in, right? Yeah.
So
That's
he's like, oh yeah, okay, all
the
right.
real move. But a lot of women, like they do the same thing as their husbands, and like their husbands turn into like Greek gods. And and they're like, like hating themselves and like, I hate spinach. What's wrong with me? And it's because you're following the same advice that's not actually designed for women. So that's just on a purely, metabolic scientific level, not to mention all the other aspects.
Okay, so let me jump in with something because you know how you get these messages going brr, brr, you
Yeah,
know.
I do.
So some
Right.
people in this group who come in to listen are not, they're very slender.
Yeah,
Like they're this, they don't need to lose weight.
totally.
So what I have experienced is, you and I have been friends for a year, year and a half or something like
Yeah,
that, really connected. And, we work together on our businesses and all of that. And I'm going,
yeah.
look, hey, I'm right, I'm interview me. This is how it worked. I said, hey,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a potential client,
Oh, yeah, you reached out to me. Yeah, you're
yeah,
like,
yeah, not like
yeah.
I was planning to join or anything,
Right.
but like one of the things that you have said, and now I'm deeply experiencing, is that it's almost like if weight loss is the thing you're going for, that's a byproduct.
Yeah,
It's all about deeply about cellular health and about like kind of cracking the code like of the food industry and all the things that are all of this stuff. So I just really want to speak to the people, and you know who you are, who love to listen to this stuff, who are very slender. But
yeah,
this approach is very relevant for anybody
yeah,
moving through life, moving in a,
yeah,
God bless this beautiful world of ours, a toxic environment in the kind of information that's coming to us with the kind
yeah.
of chemicals that are coming to us. So I just wanted to drop that in. So
Well,
yeah.
and that's the thing. I mean, and that's really my umbrella, like, because I'm 55, right? And I feel like I'm 35, and I probably feel better than I felt when I'm 35 because I know so much more, right?
Right, right,
But the
right.
thing, like the real umbrella, like you so elegantly pointed to, is aging radiantly. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I say, I lead a lot with weight loss so that the women who need me find me from that way. But I have women who are at my CrossFit gym, and you don't need to exercise to do CrossFit to lose weight, I promise you. But I have tons of women who are like, I don't know what it is about you. And this isn't to be boisterous. This is to be like just what happens. They come up to me and they're like, what are you having? Like, I want what you're having. Like, right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
Harry Met Sally, if you're old enough like me, you see that scene, like, oh, remember the scene in the diner? If you haven't, like, Google it. It's really cute. Anyway, but so in response to that, I'm like, well, I have my cellular health, right? I know that sounds, I'm a like emotional health, like I'm actually, they're like, you're glowing. And I'm like, that's not just me. It's just that I know how to communicate with my body. And that's what I teach women. I teach all women, whether you need to lose, some women need to lose 100 pounds. That's perfect. And you're my person. Some women don't need to lose hardly anyone, but they need to heal their relationship with themselves, with food, right? Some people force themselves and with like, nourishing themselves. And then we need to educate ourselves about, because there is no manual given to a woman on how your body operates. Right. So I've been studying this stuff for so long, and like 30 years, right? Like learning, and a lot of it was studying the masculine culture. And I really had to, when I turned 40, I had to change all the things I knew, because I was like, why the hell? I mean, what the hell? Because I'm eating clean. I didn't change anything. Yeah, I'm drinking wine, but it's the organic, sulfite free sometimes, like, why am I popping weight on? I could not understand it. And it was because my body was shifting. And I didn't know that I needed to align with that mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and definitely physically, right? And so what I was doing was pushing my physical body to get some goddamn results already, get to lose the weight because I'm walking around here, I can't fit in my effing clothes. There's the whole wardrobe. Extra large was on the horizon, and I'm like, uh-uh. But, I couldn't stop it. There I was, extra large, untucking everything. And I was like, who is this person? And I'm like, that's not me. And it was like devastating and heartbreaking. I'm not going to lie. I mean, compared to the lifestyle I lead today, it was not always this way where I'm like traveling around, have all this energy. It wasn't this way. It was like, holy shit, how am I going to get through today? Waking up like sad, like waking up like exhausted after sleeping a whole night, and I'm like, is this just getting older? And I'm like, because even though I was like a nurse, I was even working in with a holistic doctor. Like a lot, we got dismissed a lot. And I'm like, ooh, I'm like, uh-uh. And then I come to find out, actually recently got this new statistic. This woman, and gosh darn it, I meant to just started reading her book. I can't think of her name, but we could pop it in the chat because I like to give people credit where credit is due. But she's an OBGYN and she's really sharing a lot of really good information. And she's sharing about her residency as an OBGYN. And one of the things, and she says it's still happening in culture today, is that women get labeled like they're doing their rounds as a group. You've seen this in all your television shows, whatever, and like they go WW in room two. Good luck with that. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
guess
mentioned
what a
this before.
WW is, y'all? It's
Yeah,
a whiny woman.
right.
Whiny woman with a lot of the symptoms like brain fog, so, like belly fat they can't explain, like just low libido, low energy. And you're like, they're like, oh, good luck. And then you get, here's your anxiety medication, here's your
Yeah,
antidepressant, here's your thing.
yeah,
And what is not taught, and a lot of times that's necessary. I'm not dismissing any of that.
right.
It's just that because it really is, especially when it's life and death. That is like get the thing. I claim no medical expertise. Even with years of background, I'm not that, and I make no claims. I just share anecdotally what I see in myself and what I've seen in over 100 women who have come through this process. Like when you actually go and understand your body and heal from the inside out. Heal your gut, heal your liver, heal your mind, heal your relationship with your body and your heart. Understand that your energy, like, I mean, all these big principles that are very, very, I've never seen them all together in one place. But when you have that and you set your body up as like to be a metabolic master, to be an emotional master, right? These are all types of metabolisms. Well, you heal. And, I don't use that word lightly. Like people, you come back online, like the amount of women that have shared with me, again, no medical claims, but that have shared with me they've gotten off of anxiety medications, no longer needed in vitro fertilization was the most recent one because their hormones balance so much,
Yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, yeah,
or have healed from a cancer, like have gotten through like having, maybe they went through chemo, like I mean the healing and like all and like the one thing they say that you wouldn't like put together with weight loss necessarily, or it was like I don't know what's going on, but the colors in my life are brighter. Like just
mm,
everything is
mm,
better.
mm,
And I'm
mm.
like, that, that,
Right.
that's
Well,
what.
yeah,
Mhm.
and let me jump in with a little bit of some things are kind of popping while you're
Yeah.
talking. And one thing that you've said to me, before I became a client, and when we were, and then also
We were just dating.
when we were just dating, yes, um, is this this uniqueness of each
Yeah.
woman, right? And
Right.
each and to really stress again this how the models are built for a cookie cutter model
Totally.
and then built to not create what because I've done lots and lots and lots of cleanses and eaten different ways and
Yeah.
tried different weight loss things and you
Yeah.
know look to get this sort of mastery, but
Yeah.
that each person, each woman is unique. And I'm starting to actually see that. So part of it, is trusting
Mm.
you and go, okay,
Goosebumps.
great,
Hmm.
but
Yeah. Thank you.
like, you know,
You're like,
okay, I'm
okay.
trusting you. But show me, show
I
me.
go, show me,
Yes.
prove it to me.
Oh, Leora is on. So just if anybody's on, just pop something in the chat because that's how I know you're there, and
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
watching the
cool.
live stream. So
So great
uh,
to see you.
yeah, good to see you, Leora. And Dave Inder was on too. So anyway,
Hey.
our
Yeah.
lovely people. Okay,
Yeah. That's
so
funny.
one thing that happened with me, which you and I have talked about a lot, is
Yeah.
that um, a few years ago, January of 2023, I had symptoms of acid reflux.
Yeah.
And uh, and I didn't know it was acid reflux. It took me like I thought it was allergies. I just kind of, oh, whatever, my voice, I'm
Yeah.
having trouble, whatever. And I'm a singer, but I had this raspy voice. I couldn't really sing, but I was just like, there's that sort of energy that I experienced that a lot of women experience of just like oh, to heck with it. I'm giving up. I'm not bothering. I'm like feeling weighted down by whatever you've got going on.
Yeah,
And I knew, not eating spicy food, not drinking
sure.
a bunch of caffeine, coffee, all that. I knew that those things were going to help me, but I wasn't willing to go there.
Totally. It's not easy. It's hard. Yeah. And it's
No, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And
it's
there's
like
the
an
whole
yeah, like yeah, it's like like
there's the whole mental element of just like, well, I've tried everything. How am I going to,
yeah,
I'm not going to stick with that.
right.
Why
Right.
bother? I'm not going to stick with it. Why bother?
That's very typical, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
right, right. And so, you and I've been with you almost 4 months, and
Yeah,
you know, I have to watch the acid reflux, but it's not, I'm healing my voice. I'm healing my singing voice, and I'm healing it more rapidly now by
yeah.
going through because I'm not, you've got your green drink, I've got mine, and so I think in all of that, what I
So you're
was,
saying, so you're talking about like healing your like what you're experiencing is like symptom relief from your acid reflux, which can is
yes,
actually something that a lot of women deal with like very frequently,
yes,
and it's also something that can kill you. And it can keep you, not only does it take your voice like it did Dev Suroop or cause you discomfort or keep you up at night or whatever it is, but it can
yeah.
also, be like life threatening. And we don't realize like how tricky that is. Well, and so what are you experiencing now with your voice? Because I think this is one of my like favorite things. I'm like, yay, Christmas,
Yeah, right, right. Well, I think I'm in a deep process with a vocal coach, and a big part of my life is singing. And
Yeah,
so there's the getting the acid reflux calmed down. So it's not,
yeah.
you know, spilling acid from my esophagus onto the vocal folds and creating
So cellular healing
problems.
is like what we're talking about that you've
Yeah,
experienced here inside this that is like
yeah.
perpetuating into like giving you back your voice in, over time, right?
Right. And unfortunately it doesn't just happen like that, which is what I was hoping is that,
Which is
oh, okay.
diet culture, which is
Yeah,
the quick fix culture, which is why diets don't work, right? Because it's not that. Like if I wanted to keep what I could force you to lose weight, we could do all the things, right? We know how to do that. That's why the diet industry, whatever, I don't remember, I looked it up a while ago, but it's like a multi-bazillion dollar industry, right? Right? That's
right,
why it keeps growing, And if the diets worked, and if we looked around our culture, you'd see a bunch of healthy, thriving, happy people. And that
right,
is not the case, right? So we know diets don't work, and we know diets like only have like one piece of the pie, right? Like it'll give you like fasting. I'm a fan of fasting, but not at the wrong time for the wrong person, right? Like people don't know that. And so that's why you like fast with your husband and you're like, oh, why is he turned into a Greek god and I hate my life? It's because it's not in alignment with your hormone cycles, right?
right. So then what
Yeah,
we're culturally doing, and we're acculturated to,
yeah,
right, is I want this result, which, is commonly weight loss, although we have a lot of people who are have this whole pool of things not working in their life.
yeah. Yeah. Like
But
well, really, you want like weight loss, I say, is the side effect of cellular health, of healing,
right,
right? So we got to
right,
get so we lead with that because that's what people think they want. I've countless examples of women who don't need to lose weight. We're talking about I'll have what she's having, and I'm like, let me teach you so that you know how to heal, so that women come up to you or people, men,
right,
right? And ask you, what are you doing? I want what you're having. That's my whole goal is for women to be empowered, especially entrepreneurs and business women and people who are up to something in the world because there's the time such as this is when we need the women to rise. And most women,
right,
the women who are the leaders, the women who are the matriarchs, the women who are going not into aging as a descending, but aging as like your second spring, aging as like you're stepping into your wisdom years. Those are the women we need to feel even more amazing. And of course, we need all women, but I'm saying like we need feminine leadership on this planet now more than ever. And women are stuck because I ask this question all the time. I can't remember if I asked you. I just started asking it because like three people in a row said it to me. I was like, I should start asking this. Like, how much energy do you think, mental energy, your sister, ask your sister, Susan, how much energy do you think you spend on obsessing over food or health or your hormones or, aging or like your energy and all that stuff, you know? And do you remember, did I ask you that? Do you remember what you said? I
Well,
remember what
you
you
know,
said, I think.
what I would say right now
Yeah.
is that um, there's a way that I would just sort of shut down, just like, oh, fuck it.
The fuck it.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So, how
If
much
they're good, yeah, that's a disease. The fuck.
because there's like, oh God, I gotta fix it, I gotta fix it, I gotta fix it
Yeah.
energy, which is taking time. But there's the other part of like, oh God, I've I'm so sick of trying a
Yeah.
bazillion things, So so
Yeah.
it's kind of that
Yeah.
low level sort of
It's just undercurrent
depression,
all the time, like yeah,
like
like
a
low level, yeah, and it keeps you kind of, it's playing in the background, and when we undo, because we do a lot of inner work inside our group, as you know, right? When we peel back the layers, I mean, women are like, oh my God, like the amount of energy, it's like 60, some people say it's up to 60, 70%. Like, I'm like, really that high? And they're like, yeah, like that's the
yeah.
kind of energy I'm spending. And now that they get their energy back, like you can put it on other areas of your life because you actually feel like doing things again. But what do you notice is so different, Destry? Because I mean, being like kind of a dieting expert, right? That lost weight and then it came bouncing back on. Like,
Right.
what are you seeing about this process that is actually like changing the narrative for you, like where you can have the lasting weight loss this time?
Yeah, so I think, I keep on going back to just general health in
Because it
general.
is general health. This is what we're talking
Right,
about, right? Aging
right. And then
gracefully is the goal. Yeah,
yeah, and that, I've had
I love
all
that.
once I hit hit puberty, I had a false conception that I was have fat, you know,
Oh, yeah. So much stuff,
which is
right? Girls.
I look at photos of myself back then. I'm like, who was I kidding? Right? But
Yeah,
there's that all the different ways that comes through of our self-perception. And of course, I
yeah,
was deep in yogic community for 35, 40 years. That was very, very much about health. And my blood work is great. But
sure. That's a good point.
but it wasn't so I've been, so there would be then, I'm going to do this thing for a while. Say I'm going to do this certain kind of mono diet or fast or something like that. But
Yeah.
then what do you go back to
Right, right, right.
that
God, how do
that's
you live
really
this way? Right.
resonant for your own being, right? And I remember, when I did Bright Line Eating a bunch of years ago with great success, I remember saying, well, I didn't know what to do. Now I know what to do. But
Yeah,
the thing that I experienced was that a restrictive approach that was very much about weighing your food, you know,
yeah,
a restrictive approach would be it just that like that tension was unsustainable.
that's right.
Now I'm having to figure out how to just eat and not overeat. And I had just before we got on the call, you and I were talking, and it's like I made something to eat and I dished it up. And normally I would dish up a lot because that's just been my patterning. And I'm no, 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 I don't need that much, which is a big non-scale win because I'm not I'm listening to myself.
Yeah, and like like so, and that's the point is, I think that I love that you're saying that because we don't preach that. Like literally, this is all about creating a very unique to you
Right.
metabolic and emotional lifestyle where you're not missing out on the fun. You don't have to like be worried about the holidays coming and gain 10 pounds. Like there's no FOMO, right? You just start to create a life you want, but you create that by learning how to communicate with your body. And so I love that because I'm not like, okay, you could only have this much. I don't say any of that ever. And it's all about like understanding what your body truly needs and what's nourishing at that time,
Yeah.
and one day that is a piece of cheesecake. Oh, it doesn't matter, right? It's like about really understanding what is truly mentally, emotionally, and then food,
Yeah.
fuel for your life and
Yeah.
picking in the moment because it's going to be different next week.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and tomorrow and Saturday, tomorrow, Thursday and Saturday. So the
Yeah,
8th
and
and
actually we just added one on because we had so many people who were like wanting. It was really interesting.
oh,
Took me,
really? Oh, wonderful. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I was
So
like
so
surprised.
I
Yeah,
just popped a link in the chat for your master classes. We have
yeah,
3 of them. Awesome. Look at that. So
yeah,
I tomorrow, May
yeah.
8th, at I'm just
Noon.
gonna say
Probably.
Eastern time. Let's
Oh,
just do Eastern. 1 Eastern
uh,
and 10 Pacific. Saturday is 2 Eastern, and that would be 11 Pacific. Yeah, see, I'm translating it wrong. So let's just go Eastern. And then Thursday at 2 Eastern, the 15th. So we've got 3 master classes coming, and
yeah.
talk to people about what that experience is going to be like for them.
Well, it's what the thing is, and I think what you're experiencing inside this program, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you're seeing like a whole woman approach
Yeah.
to like a lifestyle you can manage. So, you like you just said, I did the mono diet, I did this and then that and the other thing. So what we do is we actually clear up all the confusion with inside the program and walk you through a series of experiments and things so that you can actually learn what works for your unique body within the guidelines of scientific rigor and your own experience of life. Like embody a way of being that works for you in alignment with scientific principles that are aligned with women. So like that's like the premise.
Yeah.
And it's very complex, like all these things. That's why people only teach one thing because like, they're like, okay, this is the one thing and you can get those results. But what I'm teaching women and I start to open the conversation deeply in this is that it's not one thing. It's not the one thing like above the line, but whatever. I'm not putting anything down, but counting calories certainly doesn't work. If it was going to work, it would have worked by now, right? We just F up our metabolisms and create a whole new metabolic set point and hate ourselves, right? We know that. We know over exercising, especially later in life, is metabolically disruptive, right? So I start to break down those myths and teach you inside the master class. It's called What Your Doctor May Not Have Told You. I'm very much aligned with doctors. I kind of question putting that out there, to be honest with you. But I'm like, I really want people to know that your doctor is a guide and a consultant, but you need to be the expert of you. And just a little factoid that I definitely is that doctors only receive like 3 to 20 hours of nutrition education at all in their 4 years of residency. So like it's not their fault. I mean, a lot of doctors are great and go above and beyond, right? But the truth is that they're a consultant and we need to educate ourselves. So that is what I do is I empower you to take your power back so that you can show up, and understand what you're actually getting a consultant about. So like you learn to heal, you know, your hormones, right? Like what does this have to do with everything? Well, it's really confusing, honestly. And so we simplify that so you can have basic knowledge and understanding what my hormones are off balance even means. Because even the experts and even people trained are hormones are very, very complex. So you need to have some basic rudimentary knowledge so that you can understand how they're communicating to your body. We're going to go over some really high level stuff that'll help you and empower you. Then we're going to learn about like the how you can actually have lasting weight loss. Like that's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. We see it over and over and over again. It's not you're not stuck on the diet hamster wheel of, yay, I lost it. Oh, it's back. It's, oh, I'm still getting healthier and healthier and healthier because that's actually how we're designed, right? That's actually how we're designed. If we look over history and we look at blue zones and we look at some different cultures and things, you're metabolically designed to age radiantly. And that's the last pillar is to age radiantly, is so that you can ultimately like redesign a life because wherever you are and like you can fight it and we have a lot of really powerful women but like there's a cultural narrative that after 40, 50, that we're to step in the background, that we're just kind of going to just slowly decline. And I'm not about that shit. Like, it is not about that. It is about, like, we run around like squirrels when we're like from, up until we're about 40-ish, like gathering our prizes and our nuts for the winter and all this and, into our 40s. And then all of a sudden things start to shift and we start to change, and we start to notice like you get that like the fuck it's, but in a healthy way. You're like, you know what? Just don't give a fuck anymore. You do you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And you start to set clear boundaries and all that kind of stuff. That comes from this like inner knowing, this place of wisdom, and being able to ascend into that powerfully, like instead of like a squirrel, like a goddamn cheetah, right? Like deliberate, fiercely, on purpose, right? This
Yeah.
is the wisdom that elders and other, this is like the reverence that we need to have for ourselves as we age, because this is actually, and I really like, if you don't even come to the master class, I hope that you do. I hope that I see you there. But please take this away from this talk right here, that like over 40, especially over 50, like this is the best chapter. It is not like the, oh God, it was behind me. This is it. Like, let's go claim our legacy, because you can't, and you can't do it unless you feel good. Because the woman who has her health wishes for 1,000 things, and the woman who
Yeah.
does not wishes for just one. So I
I'm
hope to
looking
see
for
you in the
something
master
real
class.
quick. So one
Yeah.
of the things that so the master class again, just to stress that, tomorrow the 8th, Saturday the 10th, the next Thursday the 15th, and the link is
Yeah,
in
I
the
really hope to see you there. I'd love to see you, especially you
yeah,
sisters, in this,
I'll
especially
be there for at least
community.
a couple of the days. But I
Yeah.
think I think one of the things that is potent, I went and grabbed it, and is the unscale wins. So these are the list of things that
Ah,
are unrelated to
that's just people what they've reported inside our tribe. Like, so we just collected the list
yeah.
of all of the things, right?
And
So
then
what
you
do you,
go through and you check them off. And so I,
yeah.
I'm checking them off. So I think what's really important to convey that that the benefits that I'm experiencing are really interesting. Like a lot of pain in this right hip, and it's not completely gone, but it has diminished tremendously because the way I'm eating means I have less inflammation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I have an interesting one that I'm watching, and one of my good friends has it where she shimmies a little bit.
Yeah. All these
And I'm
things.
watching that in myself because I started to adopt it and I would go, oh, well, that must be because I do a lot of caffeine. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
watching it to see if that, and then when I do my voice lessons and it's on Zoom and I'm listening to it again, I see a little shimmer and I'm watching that. So there's all these different kinds of things, these benefits that are of like I'm in a support group with a bunch of women who they're the 4 or 5 of them are in their 70s. They're in their 70s, right? And there's a lot of physical, and these are healthy women, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of the health issues start showing up, right?
Yeah.
The cancer and the broke my
Yeah.
hip and the
Yeah.
you know bone density this and the whatever that. And what if we could, rather than just go, okay, it's going to go down, of course it is, because our bodies, we have, there's some whatever, there's aging,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, I quite like
What if
we do rev down and slow, and that's okay, right?
Right. So what if instead of this, it's you've got even that much more vitality, that much more avoidance of some issue because you're not eating a bunch of crap or you're not weighted down with a depressed sort of attitude. That's where I'm excited. Yeah, part of,
Yeah, is it like your mood is better, and like your
yeah,
light is like back on. Yeah, and that's what's really exciting. It's exciting to see,
yeah,
to
yeah,
watch. Yeah.
yeah.
And watching your sister too. I mean, like Dev Suroop's had her sister in here, you guys, and she's like, she's been struggling with a lot of the same things. I think she said she avoided knee surgery because of this, and she's just
Mm.
like enjoying her life so much more. And she has like, she's sleeping like 10 hours a night. I think she talked last night, on the
I know.
call. Like,
It's like,
she's like, and it's
oh,
deep. Here's my little app. And deep sleep, deep sleep. I mean, who would love a good night's sleep? Say, amen, right? Right. And so we don't, I wish I took that for you. I wish I got that lesson when I was earlier, but how important it is. And, when we don't sleep well, it's like all about hormones. not being in balance. And so that's like all that stuff, nervous system regulation, emotional regulation, like what to eat for your unique body. I mean, the food is just, I mean, yes, we have a functional chef. So yes, we pay a lot of attention to food, but it is like, it's like, it's not even the most important thing. Right? It's all these other, it's the understanding of why you do what you do, why you crave what you crave, and how you show up in life. And yes, 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 and about the aging and the decline thing, but because like there's so much evidence that that's not 100% the case. Yes, we slow down, but like not like this, like into a way like where there's more spaciousness. I almost think it's for wisdom to land, at some point,
Uh, oh,
right?
that's yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Because we can't hear when we're frenzied, right? But I
Mhm.
mean, in other cultures, the older women are still running and, still doing all the things, out all day, gathering 80, 90-year-olds in blue zones, gathering blueberries and stuff all day. So there's a way to live optimally, because also, look, there's like a technological revolution underway, right? There's going to be all these biohacks. Everybody's starting with the biohacks. I'm like, no, 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 silly, silly. If you start with a biohack and your body can't, like, you could have the element, whether it's a hormone or a superfood or whatever, right? But if you don't have the capacity to break it down in your liver and then to absorb it in your gut, well, what the hell's the point? There is no point. You actually cause more harm than good, you
Right.
know, often. So to my idea is that you really show up, and this is what all we like across the board women are experiencing. They show up metabolically more like optimized for their unique situation in life, emotionally optimized for their situation in life. And so that, like ideally you don't need medication, but if you do, then that also works for you in an empowered way, not as a band-aid to a solution, a symptom, because we want to get to the root of things. We want to remove the obstacles in the way. And there's so, I mean, there's just, I could go on. I could literally sit here and talk
Yeah,
to you
yeah,
for
we could keep going and going and
yeah.
going. And I think one of the things that I want to drop in to make sure we get it in for those of you who are listening is this what I early on when we were doing this, and I didn't expect to jump in with you, and I'm grateful. But
Yeah, I
early on,
mean, too, like
yeah,
beyond grateful. Like it's so
yeah, yeah.
cool.
So
I mean, I wasn't expecting it either. I was like, oh, really?
yeah, right. So, you kind of go, okay, okay. I mean, you don't jump into something unless you see that there's some potential and some possibility.
Yeah.
But what I really experience now, and I want to say it not that it's sort of a somatic, for lack of a better word, somatic experience, that it's really like you're nourishing yourself in such a way that you are really truly building this cellular health. And then these results are happening as you over time continue to build your cellular health.
This is right.
So then it's like, it's, and you've got the information because you curate really great content to listen. You've
Oh,
got the information to know, well, wait a minute, there's sugar in basically everything,
yeah,
virtually everything out there.
yeah,
And how much is driven by for profit, industrial complex, unfortunately. And then you go, okay, well, wait a minute. I'm going to make choices underneath all that chatter
yeah.
that are create longevity for me
Hmm.
so that I can thrive. So,
This is
yeah,
right. Sovereignty. Like that's what I want women to have, is to like not be hooked up on the next, because I don't know, I call it the cabinet of hope, like, or the cabinet of shame, depending on your move, right? Like you're doom scrolling on Instagram or whatever, and you're like, oh, I need that. That's the solution. And then we have this cabinet full of stuff we don't even know why we're taking. Right. And like, I mean, I think every woman has a secret, protein powder or whatever cabinet.
yeah,
And before you do any of that, get your body, mind, and gut aligned, right? And like
yeah,
really heal. And it's not just a one-stop shop. It is a deep, like it has taken me like 30 years to figure out like, okay, it's not paleo, it's not keto, it's not just this thing, it's not just this superfood, it's not just this like, fasting, it's not just, carb cycling, like I've done it all. It's none of those things, you know? It's everything and what works for you in a because we can't do the same thing all the time. We're like annual creatures, like we're cyclical creatures, you know?
Right. So you've taken all that experience and distilled it down and help others be able to get through and figure it out. You
And
know,
take it
like
and like simplify the hell out of a highly
right, right.
complex information. So that's why I'd love for you guys to be, if you're able to be, I know we're kind of carrying on now, but like
Yeah,
be a master. I'm so passionate about this because I've never honestly like knock on wood, when the woman comes all the way through her life is forever changed. Like, and she gets her power back. And I've never seen anything and I'm like, it's so cool. I mean, it's just like, are you kidding me? Like it's not because I'm so powerful. It's like I just teach you how to talk to your body, right? It's not because I have a magic pill. I have a magic formula that you learn how to apply for your magic body. That is, then you turn on your own pharmacy, and baby, you can have whatever you want. Like
right.
you can have it back. Like if you feel like that spark is missing, oh no, mm-mm.
So the link is in the chat to, and it's a free masterclass, hour long on
90,
this Thursday, 90 minutes,
90 minutes. Mm.
90 minutes tomorrow, Saturday, and then the following Thursday. And I highly, highly recommend just come in and hear from Laurie these more about how to really connect deeply with your being and your body in a truly authentic way that can change your life for the rest of your life. So, see, here I am. Listen to me. I can say all this stuff and believe
Look
it.
at you. I love it. I love it because I can feel you're like experiencing it. And that like
Yeah.
makes my heart so happy.
Yeah. It's so
You
cool.
know? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. And thank you. I mean, like, just thank you, Dev Suroop. It's such an honor to get to be your guide in this and watch your transformation, watch you go through the struggles and then come out and then the next level and the next level and the next level. Watch your sister do it like right alongside you, where she's
Yeah.
having like massive breakthroughs and releasing tons of weight and getting her break. And it's like so cool to do this inside a community because we're not designed to do this shit alone. We're not. Yeah. So thank you. And thank you for having me. I'm so, so grateful. You're
Great. And I'm going to stop the live stream and love up everybody. Thank you. Thank you,
Bye,
Lori.
everyone. Thanks for watching.